begin when you're ready.
Okay, good evening, everyone. We'll begin with the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America,
and to the republic
for which it stands,
one
one nation,
under
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
for all. All right, Ann, would you conduct the roll call, please?
Yes, sorry, Chairman. Chairman Nolan,
Here.
Vice Chair Anthony Rudzinski,
Here.
Commissioner Paul Abbey,
Here.
Commissioner D'Agostino.
Here.
And Ann, would you begin the sunshine law, please?
Yes, this meeting today conforms with Chapter 231 Public Law from 1975 called the Open Public Meetings Act. As per the requirements of the statute, notification of the meeting was published in Star Ledger and Home News Tribune and filed with the clerk of Middlesex County.
All right, and please introduce everyone that we have here on behalf of the MCIA.
Sure. So today we have two members of our county IT team helping facilitate the meeting, John Stefani and Silvio Castelluccio. We have Commissioner Paul Abbey, Commissioner Tony Rudzinski. We have our Chief Financial Officer, William Brennan, Senior Project Manager, Carol Burns, Commissioner D'Agostino, our Consultant Engineer, Mr. Dave Samuel, and our Executive Director, James Polos.
Welcome all, and thank you for attending. This meeting is called to order. Correspondence. Do we have any correspondence? That would be Jim Polos?
Yes, no correspondence, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Committee reports. Other than what we have in our packet, Jim, are there any reports that you want to cover?
I know that Ann will be doing the economic development report. I give you a quick update on the transit project and also on recycling.
Sure, would you like me to start with the Blanquita B. Volante Community School project, our redevelopment project?
Sure.
All right, so work continues on the project design, site development plans, and regulatory approval. Excavation of the soils has commenced this month. The final submission to the Department of Education will occur within a few weeks. With respect to the permits and approvals, Freehold Soil Conservation District has granted certification of the soil erosion and sediment control plan submitted for the project. The Middlesex County Utilities Authority is currently reviewing the NJDEP treatment works approval application, and the City of New Brunswick is currently reviewing the water main certification documents. The board should be aware that all those documents required for transfer of ownership, funding source, and financial guarantees for remediation have been satisfied. The licensed site remediation professional has been retained. Some of the site activities include the removal of soil and concrete slabs and foundation with the PCB exceedances above the NJDEP most stringent remediation standards have been commenced this month and will extend it into early July as former 350 Comstock Street. I go through the project schedule each time we do this report, and everything has remained on pace. For your recollection, major project schedule milestones include commencing excavation, which has been on target, June 2021. Commencing the structure will begin December 2021, and the building is scheduled to be enclosed by October 2022, with substantial completion dated for August 2023. Moving on to our Morris Cancer Center project. The project design continues through the construction document phase. Demolition of the buildings on site has been completed, together with the sorting and removal of debris. Excavation of the basement level is set to commence within the next few weeks, and the official project groundbreaking was held in the month of June, together with the announcement of the official naming of the new Cancer Center, which I mentioned before, which is the Morris Cancer Center project. There have been numerous permits and approvals given and obtained, which includes the demolition permits, the freehold soil approval, preliminary and final site plan approval was given by New Brunswick Planning Board, along with sidewalk closure permits by the City of New Brunswick. We have some environmental activities to inform the board about. Historic fill on the site will be excavated and removed under the oversight of an LSRP, given the depth of the basement plan for the building. And some site development activities include demolition has been completed in the month of June. The contractor will be proceeding with the site excavation within the next few weeks. And a reminder about this project schedule. The commencing of the excavation is on target for July 2021. Commencing of the structure will begin June 2022. The building goal date to be enclosed is February 2023, with a substantial completion date of July 2024. That's all I have, Chairman, for those two projects. And as our Executive Director stated, he will be providing the update regarding the North London Transition Project.
Thank you, Ann.
Sure.
Very briefly, Chairman, we received comments back on the contract from New Jersey Transit several days ago. Our team went through those comments and put together some responses, and they will be heading out to transit by tomorrow. And we're hopeful that within the next 2 weeks, we'll have a completed contract. And at that point, we'll begin our meetings with our engineering team, transit officials, and our technical team here at the county to really start to get the design and process moving along for the train station. So some exciting times just ahead in the next week or two.
Very good. Thank you very much. Do we have any old business?
No, sir.
Okay. And do we have any new business other than what we've already covered?
No, I'll just briefly say on the recycling that we're proceeding with renewal of a contract, I should say with a new contract for our leaf composting program. It's a highly successful program, really helps our communities be able to have a location in a cost-effective manner to be able to remove debris such as tree limbs and leaves and brush and so forth. And as everyone may know, especially when we get these kind of terrible storms like we had about a week ago, the amount of material that has to come into that facility is pretty significant because the DPW guys in the local towns have to clear out the streets of the material that's fallen. So it's a great county program, very cost effective, and something that we'll continue to do for our communities.
Very good. Thank you. And discussion of resolutions?
Yes, Chairman. So today we have a few resolutions to be presented for the board, including item 8A, which is a resolution for the Middlesex County Improvement Authority designating a new affirmative action compliance officer and determining the compliance threshold. Item 8B is authorizing the execution of an amended redevelopment agreement with Hardinburg Street Development Associates, LLC, in connection with the redevelopment of a certain real property in the city of New Brunswick. Item 8E is a resolution of the Middlesex County Improvement Authority approving a contract to join the Cranford Cooperative Pricing System with the Township of Cranford. Item 8B is what our Executive Director just mentioned, is authorizing the award of a contract for a yard waste recycling and marketing services to Nature's Choice Corporation. Item 8E is a resolution approving the purchase of 2 vehicles to be used in routine operations. Item 8F is a resolution approving an interlocal service agreement with Middlesex County for the services of a qualified purchasing agent. Bear with me while I read this bond resolution. Is authorizing McManaman, Scotland and Bauman to submit an application to the local finance board on behalf of the MCIA for review of proposed resolutions in accordance to the capital equipment and improvement financing program, proposed lease agreement and loan agreement, proposed county guarantee ordinance and proposed county guarantee agreement in conjunction with the capital equipment and improvement program for the county of Middlesex. Then on item 8H, which is in addition to the packet that was sent out on Friday, this was drafted and circulated for your review, I believe yesterday or this morning. Item 8H is a resolution of the Middlesex County Improvement Authority authorizing an application to the local finance board pursuant to NJSA 5A-6 and NJSA 40:37A-80. So those are our resolutions for the board to consider tonight, Chairman.
Very good. Thank you. Can I have a motion for approval of the minutes?
There is a clerical typo here. This should say June 9th as opposed to July 14th, which is today. So my apologies, it will be reflected in the minutes.
Very good. All right. Can I have the, a motion to approve the minutes of June 9th?
Motion. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
None opposed? That will pass. All right. We are now ready for public comments on the resolutions. Is our old friend Charlie Cradaville in the audience? Charles, are you here tonight?
I
Is there
don't,
anybody?
Chairman,
Yes?
I don't, oh, I do see a hand up. Hang
All
on.
right. Whoever that is, please identify yourself and tell us where you're from.
Good evening. Charlie Cradaville, editor of New Brunswick Today, resident of New Brunswick. Appreciate the opportunity to ask some questions here. I do want to understand about this last minute addition to the agenda. Is this for additional borrowing? Does this have anything to do with the parking division, 8H?
Jim or Ann, somebody want to field that?
Yeah, through you, Chairman. Yes, Mr. Cradaville, this is actually connected to the parking division. Our bond counsel is in the process of applying to the local finance board to receive some financing in order for us to achieve those parking and division projects. Thank you so much for asking.
You got it. Is it $60 million? Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That is the not to exceed amount right now. It may be financially less, but as a practical matter, we wanted to shoot a little bit higher so we don't have to borrow more in the future.
Okay. Well, I would caution the board against making a decision, with less than a day or two to think about it for $60 million. It's a lot of money to borrow. I do, as you know, have concerns about the parking project for New Brunswick, where it includes
May I just correct for the record, although the board has been apprised of this project, it was just the actual finalized resolution was circulated this morning. The draft resolution packet has been circulated and vetted by professionals, and they were aware of it last week. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you for the clarification. I just became aware of it 10 minutes ago, so I'm asking these questions kind of without much to go on here, but I do want to reiterate concerns about the New Brunswick project. It includes a gas power plant component that has not been adequately explained how that's going to be an appropriate use in this neighborhood with environmental justice concerns. And I'm also concerned about a company that's involved in those plants. The county creating this parking division. Are you working with THA Consulting, formerly Timothy Haas and Associates, on this stuff?
Chairman, would you like me to address that issue?
Yes, please.
Yes, we are aware of the correspondence that was circulated, and I'm sure that you were a recipient of said correspondence. I'm not going to get into the details of that since it's an improper venue. However, you should be aware that those two companies are no longer involved in the project, and we are working to gain another vendor, and it's for the reason in which you are going to perhaps express right now.
So they're being replaced. So.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I do have some concerns about the founder and namesake of that company. I'm investigating it, but it is.
They are no longer connected with this project.
Yeah. Gotcha. Again, just. Sorry, that was not me, but yeah, I do still have concerns about the parking division and, of course, this project in New Brunswick. So I hope you'll continue to take those into consideration and look at, the work that company did, and maybe be skeptical of it and think about, a better project that would be more in line with the neighborhood, maybe not as many parking spaces, and not that gas power plant that we don't want or need in this densely populated environmental justice community. So perhaps, changing vendors, changing contractors will provide an opportunity to get new visions for what could be in this location, and perhaps even just scrap the parking part of the project altogether, because it's a nice area with homes right now, and I don't believe they've been acquired yet, or at least some of them haven't. So we don't necessarily need or want another parking deck in that area either, but certainly doesn't need to be as big as it is now, and perhaps you don't need as much money as you're considering borrowing. So I would proceed with caution, and do want to thank you as always for hearing me out. That's all on this.
Thank you, Charlie. What else? And public approval of the resolutions. We're going to do that as by consent agenda, Ann, unless you tell me.
Yeah, Chairman, if you can, if you would like to present a motion to move everything to a consent agenda and then approve the consent
Yep.
agenda, that's the.
Okay, so can I have a motion to proceed through by way of consent agenda?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. We will proceed by consent agenda. And,
So moving, sure,
go ahead.
would you
All
like
right,
me
so
to?
then no, I guess we just need to move to the approval of the resolution. So I'm sorry. So can I have a motion to approve the resolutions?
I'll make a motion. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. The resolutions will pass. Can I have a motion for payment of vouchers?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And the vouchers are approved. Now we will go to the public session. If we have anybody present that would like to comment, please raise your hand and we will take you in order. And please identify yourself and where you're from.
There's one individual.
All right, Charlie, what do you got for us?
Yeah. Hi, Charlie Cradville once again. So on the new school and on the cancer center, it was said that LSRPs have been retained. Is it the same for each project or two different ones? And can you identify the LSRPs at this time?
And do we know that? Do we have that?
So yeah, through you, Chairman, I actually don't know the vendor. I was just given that the LSRP has been retained, but Charlie, I will look into which firm it is, and I will shoot you over an email if that's okay with the chairman.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I'll
We'll
put that on my
get
calendar
that to you,
now.
Charlie. Okay.
Thank you both.
Sure.
I appreciate it.
Sure. Go ahead, Charlie.
It was also mentioned there was a financial guarantee for remediation, and I just want to understand who is guaranteeing that they will pay for the remediation. Is it the MCIA?
And
The county is backing this project, so it's a guarantee through the county. It's an interlocal.
County government.
Redevelopment, yeah, redevelopment project. So the
Gotcha.
guarantee is through Middlesex County.
anything else,
Okay.
Charlie?
And yeah, I should have probably asked during the resolutions, but on 8B, you're amending the redevelopment agreement with Hardinburg Street Development Associates, which I believe is the parking deck portion of of all these companies. What is the amendment? What's changing?
So Charlie, I know we had some dialogue earlier this year about the potential conflict since the New Brunswick Parking Authority was going to be involved. However, since they don't have the MCIA has the resources to accommodate this project, so therefore the amendment is going to include the Middlesex County Improvement Authority maintaining and operating this portion of the project. So to alleviate the concern, there's no conflict since the New Brunswick Parking Authority is no longer involved and the MCIA is going to be that entity. So that's the amendment to the redevelopment agreement.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, it was my understanding that the Improvement Authority is going to take over that part of the project. But you allude to a conflict. I presume you're talking about the fact that.
No, I was using what you were stating to us earlier in the year. So I was just kind of.
Right, because your
focused on
firm,
something,
right,
but-
Okay.
right, because I was pointing out your firm also represents the parking authority, but,
Yeah, which was not signed
um,
on to this project formally, and furthermore, the NTIA is memorializing their involvement in this project.
Okay, so we're just being extra cautious.
Yes.
gotcha.
Okay,
Did
so-
any of the finances change, though? I'm just curious if, the project's still going to be bankrolled the same way, or is that financing changing?
I don't believe any finances changing. However, once the project gets up and rolling, if we need to amend anything in that portion of the project, then we'll encounter it in real time.
Okay. Well, I will just conclude by saying that the fact that you're amending this agreement at this time does, prove that it's not too late to make changes to these plans. And I would encourage, the county, as you find a new vendor to replace Tim Haas and Associates, really critically rethink the parking component of this project, the scale that's been proposed, and, don't just go along with whatever Tim Haas or the, Robert Wood, Devco folks have encouraged you to do, because, the transportation field is changing. Parking is, a declining business, a declining field. So I'm a little concerned about the county getting into it, but I do think that, you can bring a different approach to it. And this would be a project where you really do need to make some changes. So I hope that you can, rethink it and amend it again as you see fit, because there's really, the world is changing and cities are changing, parking's changing, and building the same old thing that we've built 10 times in New Brunswick is not going to bring about the transformational change that we want or need here. So I really, again, just encourage you all to keep an open mind and rethink this part of the project as you get into this changing business. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie, and thank you for your comments as always. And that's it. So I'm going to seek a motion for adjournment, please.
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
We are
Aye.
adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Aye.